Hey guys, this is the GDTV podcast. Today we're having a bit of a short staff because, as you know, the government may be cracking down and we're going to be having to go into hiding. Or in real life, some of us may be ill. With me here is the Rexasaur, just
Hello.
Rexasaur if you also know, and the Rambler.
Hello, I'm picking my nose.
What a great thing you're doing. And I am your host, Crap Hunter, and today it's going to be a bit of a short one because, due to unforeseen circumstances, a subject which is very interesting
And
is...
we lost a lot of funding, and
Yeah,
it's not going well.
yeah, some people died.
What happened?
Um, anyway, on to the
Basically,
subject.
Alex is bankrupting us because he wants money every time he shows up.
Dang.
Yeah. I show
Come
up
on,
every time though. I still haven't got the money.
£10,000. £10,000 worth each time. Seriously? Joking. Anyway, so our first subject
worth it.
today is the Tomb Raider series. Some of you, or most of you, or perhaps all of you may now know that the new Tomb Raider game has come out. And this one is about the origins of the Tomb Raider characters. Now, I haven't played it myself, but has anyone else in this podcast played it?
I
No.
haven't played it. I played the demo, and I'm watching a ongoing series on it on YouTube. And first impression wise, it looks absolutely bloody fantastic. It actually
look
looks amazing. So, I mean, there was a lot of fears originally that it was going to be shit because, oh, you can't, Tomb Raider remake, oh, you can't just remake Tomb Raider, all the other ones suck. But compared to all the other ones, like Tomb Raider Anniversary, which was shocking and all that, this one really makes it better.
I have to admit, I have had a limited Tomb Raider experience. I'm probably gonna get shot down like in a flame of fire here, but I'm not a major fan of the Tomb Raider series. Like, I'm indifferent to it. It's like, okay, it's a game about puzzle solving. I'm not so keen on puzzle solving, so yeah.
I mean, when I was young, the only Tomb Raider game I played was Tomb Raider 3, and I found that impossible. I mean, my
Oh, every
girlfriend
game was impossible
has
when we were
gotten
younger.
further than me on that game, and it's something
Oh,
I
this
can
wasn't too
never
long
let
ago.
her go.
Ooh.
But I'm not really. Yeah, I agree with you. Earlier on, well, I say early on, before this game, I really was quite indifferent towards them because
Yeah.
I found them bloody difficult and not really fun as such. I just thought it was it's like a girl's game, really. That's what I thought.
Well, I do know this, though. Apparently, and this is just from something I hear, that the game was apparently designed by guys for guys, because that's why the girl, Lara Croft's body is quite famous. Basically, reasonably good-looking face. And I'm talking about the early editions. We're not talking about the more modern ones. But basically, you're looking at a double D hot girl in
Yeah.
multiple weird scenarios. There are some very strange people out there, but whatever. So, with this, yeah, I have played a few Tomb Raider games. One of my most disappointing games, though, wasn't Anniversary, mainly because I haven't played the Anniversary, but second of all, Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness, if
Oh,
I'm
that
not...
was shocking.
Oh, I mean, it had a good kind of plot and story, but do you have to kick a door to feel stronger? Or do you just have to kind of press a couple of buttons to go, right, okay, I'm going to push bang? Like in Dead Island when you can smash the door and you have to time it well. That makes more sense than having to kick a door in to lift up a brick, you know.
Yeah, Angel of Darkness was one of those games you just don't want to think about at all.
I mean, clearly the people who designed the game had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Rambler, have you played anything like that?
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, or Angel of Darkness, have you heard / played?
Big
But to be fair, you gave me 10 minutes to prepare.
We gave ourselves 2 seconds to prepare. Hey, you gave me 2 seconds to prepare for my interview, so in your face. Now you know how it feels.
All right. Well,
Blah,
okay.
blah,
So,
blah.
okay. So
Yeah,
we
I don't really
digress.
know. I think I've only played one game. I've only played one Tomb Raider game to completion, which was the first one that came out on the 360. It was a port of an Xbox one.
I'm
forgotten what
thinking
it's
you're
called.
talking about Lara
Was
Croft
it
Tomb Raider
Legend?
Legend.
Yeah, Legend.
Yeah, Legend was all right, I suppose. It was
Did
like
you
an
right? Wait,
interesting. It was like an interesting way to look at Lara Croft, but really, it was like.
did you
hmm,
complete it? Did you, Alex?
Yes.
How did you? I mean, how difficult did you find it?
Not very.
Okay, I
ye-
suck then.
to be honest, it's not a hard game, but there's this thing called determination, and in some games, it just sucks the living
Yeah,
daylights out
I
of you.
don't know. When I played Tomb Raider 3, I just thought it was just so. I don't know. It wasn't my kind of
It
game.
was difficult to get
Yeah,
into, wasn't it? It was
yeah,
like
really
you were
was.
doing so much, but then eventually you just gave up because it wasn't really your thing. It was the same for me. So I
Yeah.
mean, Tomb Raider's a good game. I'm sure it will do
Yeah,
very
well,
well.
this one really, I mean, it really calls for the other gamers, those for who used to, those who used to play the old Tomb Raiders are going to be drawn in because it's another Tomb Raider. Those who didn't because they're like us, they're a bit, took them a while to get in, and then afterwards they're just like, nah, I can't do this.
Or
It's
no,
sort of
normal.
really helpful. It's also
Joking.
it's also that it's actually got quite a lot of nice like features because you've got an upgrade system which everyone is familiar with now. You've got
Mm.
also like little treasures and you've got little description of proper relics, which is really really nice for any archaeologists who like gaming out there.
Oh, fair enough. Time Team will definitely be interested.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Can totally
Yeah,
see them playing it.
yeah, that would be
But
really
what we
funny.
got here is Tomb Raider.
Day one of playing Tomb Raider, and as you can see, we're already discovering so much. Ah. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so although none of us have true experience, feel free to put in the comment section below what you guys think about this game,
Yeah.
what you guys think is an improvement or non-improvement. If you hate the game's guts and you feel that the people should have just left Tomb Raider alone when they finished Tomb Raider 3, feel free to put it in the comment section below. Now, on to another subject of which I do have a lot of experience in, and I'm sure many of you real-time strategy players will remember, who are above the age of 14. Um, the
Yeah.
Age of Empires. Now, for those of you who don't know, Age of Empires is rather an old real-time strategy, which became like the bog standard real-time strategy, if I'm not mistaken.
It was the god of all real-time strategies, I think. Age of
Yeah,
Empires
well,
2.
exactly. And why we speak of this is because recently Steam announced that they were going to be releasing a HD collection of Age of
Uh,
Empires 2 and the expansion packs that goes with it.
yeah, with
As we're
Conquerors.
recording this right now, it's currently on Twitch. They're live streaming it right now.
Oh,
Oh, that's not helpful.
yeah,
People
that's
would have
kind of.
missed it.
I know
Well,
it's.
Yeah.
It's like, by the way, on
It's
this
also
Thursday.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
what is it? You can pre-order it and it's 10% off.
Yeah, that's
So
I've kept seeing it every time I go on
yeah.
Steam. It's like Age of Empires, and I'm like,
Now, I'd like to talk a little bit, a little bit about the features of it. Now,
Mm.
exactly like the old Age of Empires, you're gonna have the editor, all
Oh.
all the multiplayer aspect. But because it's a Steam game now, you get Steam multiplayer, so you play with other people on Steam, invite your friends and such. You also get the Steam Workshop,
Woo!
which means you can share your levels that you've created
Yep.
with other people.
How many ones will just be a simple, like, someone making... I guarantee
penis.
one person will... Yeah, a penis out of a castle or a landscape. It's like, look at the mini-map.
I think, personally, I think that this workshop aspect is going to be so good for
Oh,
everyone to
true.
share their own editors, make their own
Yeah.
campaigns. And it's
Yes.
just great. And
I mean,
one thing
yeah.
I'm really happy is that they're not doing this with Age of Empires 3.
To be
That
honest,
can
they've
throw-
already released Age of Empires 3 out on the Steam anyway. So
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
honest, the bit that I'm looking forward to most about this game though is the fact, quite simply, that I'll be able to play this game again. Because I mean, also don't forget, this game, for those of you who may not know, was the reason why I got into PC gaming / real-time strategy games. And to be honest, with I was talking about earlier, with Age of Empires 3. You could, if you were kind of the pessimistic kind, you could just say, well, this company's just cashing in a classic just so they can make a bit more money off it. if you were looking it off upon that aspect, yes, you could say that was the case. But then, at the same time, I don't know. I think it would be. I think I quite like the concept of being able to play Age of Empires 2 again, and also with the expansion packs. I mean, what's your opinion
Well, the
on this,
original
Rambler?
studio, Ensemble Studios, got shut down after they made Halo Wars.
Oh no, I did not know
So the
this.
original developers are no longer around. I think they're in
Oh,
like various different developers. But
oh.
yeah,
I
It's
liked Halo Wars as well.
it's
That was a decent game.
it's a HD. It's like a HD remake because
Mm.
I mean I've got Age of Empires 2 and
Oh.
Conqueror's expansion on CD, which I got very cheaply for a fiver on CD. But one of the big issues about playing it on nowadays, like on Windows 7 and like Vista, was that the screen would just bug out because it's actually an old game that was designed for Windows 95.
Oh, I remember Windows
It's
95. I remember
it's
because
like
on
Windows
98,
95.
I remember 98 because we had one. It was like, it was. I think one time it was like if I think it was like you can play it on Windows 95, but for amazing performance,
Yeah.
try Windows
No,
98. And we were like,
98,
yeah, we got Windows 98, and we played it. And maybe the characters, maybe the frame rate was maybe instead of 15, it was now 20. It was like,
it is.
wow.
It's one of those games that is just so it's old, but just so well. It's like Star
It's-
Wars Battlefront 2. It's one of those games that is so
Yeah.
old, but it's so iconically
I know.
amazing.
You don't believe
that
it. I
people
love-
can't let go of it.
I love the graphics of the thing. Some people may look at this game and say, "Oh, it's not 3D. Oh,
Oh, the
it's not
graphics are
there."
amazing.
They look sexy as Christ. I
Yeah, it
mean, you
does.
know, I'm looking at a few of the screenshots, and and there'll be some screenshots in the video, undoubtedly. But it really looks fantastic. And I remember making, like, when I played this, I was about 6, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah.
So my imagination when it came to this game was quite big, but realistically quite shite. So now I can actually go back to this game and maybe make a few levels. I mean, I was only good at making castles and then manually getting an army to attack them. So, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to playing this, though. But on the subject of a HD... Yeah, oh, yeah, sorry, you saying? You first, sorry. Completely.
I was just going to say, when you go back to castle building, I tend to... on real-time strategy games, I always try and turtle myself in and just create a huge, sprawling base. And then if someone tries to attack it, I get upset.
Aw. See, the way I always used to
Why
play.
are you harming my
I don't know.
town?
The way I always used to play the game is I would always build a castle, and I always thought the castle was a bit too small to be a castle. So what I would do is build like several layers of walls around it. It's like, now that's a castle.
You had to have 5 towers, multiple
Yeah.
gatehouses, and a
Yeah,
Mott and
all
Bailey
over the
just
place.
in case.
It's just
Oh, I
Such-
remember that. I remember times I did this thing called the arena, I called it. And what I did was I made like a whole circle. And I don't do a stereotypical arena where I got bad guys and all that jazz. Instead, I had like one massive group of like really low quality units versus cannon. And it used to be, how many will survive as they get blasted to oblivion?
I think one thing you have to wonder is if they do a HD remastered edition of Age of Empires 2, will they be doing it again with, say, Age of Mythology or
Ooh, now
other
I
games?
love Age of Mythology. Now, that would be really good, but they'd have to do it maybe how they've done it like this, which is basically, don't tamper with it, just give it what this game's got, which is better looks, so you can have a little bit better visual, so it can be played on more modern computers, and the ability for you to have Steam stuff like Steam Workshop and all
Yeah.
that jazz. If they start tampering with it and say, check out the new multiplayer and perk system, and it's all like, yeah, and you've just killed a franchise. Well done. I don't know. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
hoping
Alex-
they don't do that, but, yes, Alex? What
Did
do
you
think?
ever play Age of Mythology?
No.
Oh,
Oh,
you should have. You're missing out,
What?
man.
Okay, I'll quickly explain.
It's
Age
not
of-
actually.
Well,
It's not
Age
actually.
of Mythology, right? Let me explain. Age of Mythology was the first Age of Empires,
Oh, I know
which
what it is.
was. You have heard about it though. Okay, good. Well,
Yeah, I
it's
just haven't played
really,
it.
it's basically just a 3D. It's like the first 3D version of Age of Empires, and it's
Yeah.
set in ancient Greece. Actually,
Yeah.
it's just I think it's set in ancient Europe,
It,
and
no,
it's
yeah,
basically all the
it's
myths and
it's just great.
mythological
I just
creatures
love
of the
summoning a
ancient times.
Titan. It was great.
I've never, to be honest, when I was younger, I never really got the opportunity to play online with these things. I used to just play the single player, then go on the
Oh.
editor, then make massive battles, of which I was entertained.
Summon a Titan.
I know, but I wasn't allowed to use the internet because I was too
Yeah, but
young.
even so, you can play single player multiplayer, you know, against the AI,
Yeah,
which
but I
is
was
usually
shit.
what I used to do. Yeah, which was shit, but you could still summon a Titan.
I know, but I was terrible. I couldn't
Oh,
actually play a real-time strategy until I got Dawn of War. I spent three
Yeah.
days trying to learn the game.
Yeah.
Oh. So, I mean, what's your opinion on this, though, Ramblings? Do you think it's a good idea that they're doing a HD release of some games, or do you think they should kind of leave things where they should be?
I think it's good as it makes it where like Rexasaur was saying, trying to launch really old games on a Windows 7 PC now can just be a ball ache. So I think where they're re-releasing it and making it compatible without changing too much, just kind of increasing the textures, that's the right way to go about it because you're releasing a classic game which will work and look pretty. Yeah, so I think it's a good thing that they're doing it. Just don't do it with everything, otherwise it's just going to become a cash and grab type situation.
I'm pretty sure that even though they are increasing like all this, it's you know HD version. It's also it just looks so nice, but they're also probably doing it for the money as well. You could you know
Yeah.
Oh,
they're
of course.
obviously
Yeah.
getting a lot of dosh out of this, but
Yeah.
It's
as a game
it's cheaper
I've
than
already got it.
making
Yeah,
Age of Empires 4.
I've
True.
already got it, but I'm still gonna buy this because it's just you know without like all this weird patchiness and it's just gonna look good on my widescreen computer.
Oh, imagine! Oh, you know, we got to do something. If they can do like a co-op campaign on this, I'm inviting you, Rex.
I think it's a Microsoft game. You can't do any recordings now unless you're a Machinima partner.
Really?
What?
So you
I
can't
think
put
yeah, I think
fraps
I've
on.
heard
You
that.
can't record that, dude.
Well, you can record, but if you upload it, you can get done for copyright. I think.
Dude, everyone can
Stupid
get done.
Microsoft.
Why? I know that people are like, oh, you know, it's copyright, but
As
won't,
soon as
won't,
that is,
won't people who are watching this get into the game
Is this-
because the
how-
person is playing it? I mean,
Yeah, how
if-
recent is this like thing?
freaking
Because
seriously.
there is a
I think it's since Halo 4, since after Halo 4.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Because I mean, on YouTube there is this this YouTuber called Zero Empires who does Age of Empires like replay analysis things. Because there's quite a big community of Age of Empires players who's still there, and yeah. So if so, then he's out of a job.
Well, I just think it's a bit stupid because, okay, yeah, you're terrified of copyright, and this could potentially go back to the DDRM and, you know, oh, it's nasty because it's filthy copyright bad, you know, and all that
Yeah, but
bollocks. But it's,
pretty sure recording is nothing to do with copyright.
no, but the thing is, I agree, it shouldn't be
I think
considered
it's, I
copyright.
think it's
But
if you try and monetize it.
yeah, but you're not going to. I mean,
But
the
even
only
on
way you
YouTube,
can
the way
monetize-
it works is if you do something that is copyrighted, like slightly, then what happens is that you monetize it, but you don't get any of the money. The company who has it does instead.
yeah, that would make
So-
more sense.
That would make so much more sense if that would
Well,
happen for Microsoft instead of just, you know, giving you a copyright strike.
I just think it's really retarded how people, despite the fact that loads of people are quite liking YouTube, and people, I mean, for example, I'll give you a good example of how using a YouTube actually helps. Creative Assembly's Total War series, because many of you YouTubers may know about Prince of Macedon. I know about Prince of Macedon, and in fact, Prince of Macedon was one of the few reasons
I've been
why
in a
I wanted...
podcast with him.
Oh, wow. You awesome.
Lucky son of a bitch.
Yeah,
You should
lucky
get him
bugger.
on one day.
Yeah, we will hopefully, one day in the future, we may yet have him on our podcasts. That would be quite an awesome day, I will say. But no, you know, people like Prince of Macedon, you've also not got Heir of Carthage, you know, you've got loads of people who've been able to make the Total War series. I reckon they are a good part and a good reason why why Total War became very popular. I'm not saying they're the sole reasons, but at the same time, they have made a massive contribution. And when that happened, Total War sent Prince of Macedon when Shogun came out, like a free bundle and a couple of posters was signed by the guys who made it, because I was saying thank you for being so helpful, because they became really popular because of this. So I think maybe if Microsoft did the same sort of thing with
Yeah, I mean,
I just think
Zero
it's
Empires has
ridiculous,
something
though.
like 100,000 odd subscribers, just because
Bloody
he's
hell.
like one of the only people who actually shows Age of Empire 2 content nowadays. He's one of like the big ones. So I'm pretty sure if he stuck around, Microsoft could,
Where's
get
it
a lot
going?
of people back into it. Because I mean, although all of our generation like know this game pretty damn well, and if those who haven't played it haven't lived, basically, in our
Well, they
generation,
probably weren't
the
alive when this game
generation
came
of
out.
like our little few, like say 2 or 3, no, not 2 or 3, that's a bit pushing, like 4 or 5 years like younger than us who haven't played this game really need to. And
Mm,
because we're the ones, we're like, I'm not going to say we're experts, but we know the game pretty damn well.
well, we've got
So we know how it
experience,
goes.
so we
So
know how
we're
to
the
play it.
people who bring YouTube videos from that.
Mm,
And if the younger generation can't see these, then they might not go for the game, which in turn would just be bad.
yeah. And what's your
So
thought on this rambling? Mr. Rambler,
My
sorry.
thoughts on what?
just call him Alex.
Ah, I'll call him Alex then. Fair enough. What are your thoughts
are
on
my
this,
thoughts
Alex? On the copyright and all that jazz. Not being able to produce videos to actually, in a sense, advertise the game.
I think you'll be able to upload the videos as long as you don't try and monetize them. For example, if I try to do them with my network, the network could probably get in trouble and cancel my contract and whatever.
Yeah. Well,
But I think
luckily,
it is a bit silly. If it promotes the game, then it will increase sales if people see
Yeah.
what they like when they and then if they enjoy what they're watching, they're more inclined to go out and buy it rather than just watching a trailer.
I mean,
I'm
it's
more
like
inclined to go out and buy a game if I see someone playing it rather than just watching like a trailer which is designed to make the game look amazing.
yeah, most of the
Yeah.
time, most of the games that I have are I've mostly bought because of someone playing them. Like Crusader Kings 2, the only reason I got that game was because of Quill 18's Let's Play on it. So
Mm.
Quill 18, he's a great guy. I like
he is a
him.
great guy. He is a great guy.
Sounds pretty much sounds like pretty awesome for that one. Sorry, I don't know who you're talking about, so I'm trying to
Oh.
be as polite as I can. But
Fair enough.
I'm really sure he does a great job.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's-
for the last subject, that way we have a decent sized recording.
The
Um,
surprise subject that me and Alex don't know about.
Okay, fair enough. A surprise subject that you guys don't know about. It's toughy.
I
Okay.
do kind of need a number 2, so if we could kind of
Well, you want.
Yeah, we
Thank
could
you
just-
very much. No, I was gonna say for the last one, HD collections, and
What? Generally,
generally, what are, with HD collections, do you feel that is there a better way to do it? Is there just, do you want to
Well,
add
you can't-
DLC to a HD collection? Do you want to?
you no. Well, I think HD collection should remain just a HD remake of a game, but that's it. It's just instead of
Yeah.
not being able to play it or being able to play it with like a lot of patches and shit, you just get the game like on Steam or somehow that can play on Windows 7. Like I would love to play, say, one of the really old Worms games.
Oh yeah.
know.
Worms 2 Armageddon.
Yeah, so things
they
like
just
that.
released Armageddon on Steam.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, have they?
That was a HD. Yeah, that was a HD remake as well. Pretty
Was
like
it?
several months ago.
Hey guys, do you?
Oh no.
Sorry
it
to
says,
interrupt,
It says
but I
Worms
just-
Armageddon released 19th of March.
Oh,
That's weird.
pretty
Was it?
cool. Yeah, it was only just
What?
released. Oh, fancy that.
I'm
tell you what,
pretty
they
sure
should-
you could.
Do you think? Well, here's a cool question.
No,
which you might-
I own it, so I don't see how.
Yeah, that is a
Huh.
bit odd.
that
Are
is
you sure it
strange.
doesn't say
Stupid.
19th of March 2012?
I don't know.
What?
Might
You
be.
got the game in front of you.
It said it releases Worms Armageddon 19th of March 2013, but
Oh.
I had it.
Yeah,
for
because it
ages.
was. Yeah, you can have it free. Well,
I,
it,
I got it free when I bought Worms, the new Worms thing.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good games out there. Like, there's a lot of like really old console games, like the Lost Vikings. Actually, I got that on PC. But that we could really
Mhm.
do with a HD remake, just because they were such good games,
Well, I
and you just
remember
can't play them anymore.
I remember playing on the old Panasonic. I know people say it was a poor console, but I liked it because I played the original Need for Speed on that game, and I loved that game. It was fantastic. I got to get cars to jump, and being an average, boy child, I always loved crashing cars. It was a
I got the
fantastic.
cars to jump is the greatest quote of this podcast.
Well, let's pray that it is.
I got the cars to jump.
Yeah, I got cars to go. Whee! Okay, so I'll try and wrap this up now, so that way Mr. Alex can have his dump. Um, so
Yay.
thank you very much for this relatively long podcast,
Oh, relatively
and
short.
with us today is the Rambler Alex, just the Rambler
Sorry,
or
what?
Alex.
Basically, you say goodbye at this.
Hello. Oh, okay.
You
Bye,
say-
everyone.
All right, and we also have Rexasaur.
Hey guys, I'm going now.
Antisocial git. I mean, lovely friend. And I am been your host, Crap Hunter. This is kind of a short one, but due to a lack of activity, there's not too many people. But whatever. If you like this podcast, please let us know in the comments section. If you want us to try and get more people on next time, also put that in the comments section. Rates, subscriptions, and all that jazz is all
Also,
very
if-
much appreciated.
Little thing, if you guys have any suggestions of what you want us to talk about, that would be, nice as well.
Yeah, that would be kind of handy rather than us having to sort of at the last minute think, shit, we've got to come up with a list.
Well, it's sort of sometimes because we try and talk about things that are new, but
Yeah.
sometimes in the week there's not that many things that happen. So
No. I mean, we could go on political stuff because there's a lot of
yeah,
crap happening
let's
now.
not do
but
that. Let's not do that.
but
Let's
yeah,
not do
I know. I'm not going to. Don't worry.
that. Let's talk about the Pope,
You bloody
Francis.
Argentinian. Oh no, it's Argentinian joke. Yeah, Argentinian joke. New word.
Let's leave it there.
Yes, I'm not going to say anymore. So yes, thank you very much, guys, for listening, and we shall see thee next time. This is GD and Crapper just saying goodbye. Bye.
Toodle pip.
Farewell.
Yay, you all say goodbye.